Excuse me. What in the world are you thinking?
Mean Gene, the first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say.
What up, y'all? It's KMB, the Sexy Ninja, in the place to be for a Paper Saber Universe, and this is the New World Podcast, brother. We're talking about Double or Nothing 2024, 5 years of AEW. And I gotta say, with this show, this show is what makes me, as a fan, re-fall in love with pro wrestling, the silliness of it, the not-so-seriousness, but just having some goddamn fun, man. And I've said this before, I said it time and time again. You know, it's indie wrestling with money, but you just gotta have fun. We can have the serious stuff. We can do this and that. But with what I got on this show made me happy up and down. Maybe one thing not so much, but still, it was a fun show. And, I'm waving my AEW flag high in the sky, baby. We go into the buy-in, Deonna Purrazzo versus Thunder Rosa. Deonna gets the win. That kind of made me happy. When I knew their match was going to be at Double or Nothing, I was like, they're going to do the buy-in. And I did pick Deonna Purrazzo for the win. The Acclaim versus Cage of Agony. I don't know how I like that. I'm not a fan of that, Cage of Agony. But the Acclaim got the win, of course. Our first match of the night was the AEW International Championship match. Will Ospreay versus Roderick Strong. And, of course, Undisputed Kingdom shenanigans. And, man, this was a back-and-forth battle between two warriors in that ring. Will Ospreay, though, got the championship around his waist. It took a lot for him to get that. You know, Don Callis tried to play into the mix. And Don Callis is in this show a lot. And I don't mind Don Callis. I do and I don't. But, you know, I think with this show, with the storylines, he's trying to connect and everything like that. But, man, and he was trying to tell Will, like, break his neck, kill him, kill him, you know. But Will's like, no, I'm not going to do that. I am Will Ospreay, and I'm going to show everybody why I'm the best. And, of course, you know, you had the Kingdom trying to interfere, but Will stood tall, and he took the championship away from Roderick Strong. I cannot wait to see what Will Ospreay does with this championship reign. And then we have Adam Cole, baby, come out after the match. Oh, and Wardlow was there too. But Adam Cole comes out. You know, he's like, when I get cleared, you know, no one's going to be able to stop me. I'm going to go back to the top. And we get a sweet, sweet video package. The ring, the scarf. MJF is back. Oh, I popped out of my seat and I screamed the highest level of a scream you can do. My wife's like, "Oh, you all right?" I was like, "MJF is back!" Oh, and rocking the vest / denim Triple H style. I didn't care. I thought that was a nice touch, and he looks jacked. He looks ready, and as soon as he picked up that mic and started speaking, my love for MJF bloomed like a lotus. Oh, so good to have MJF back. And he kicks Adam Cole in the balls and says, "Get this piece of shit out of my ring. Nobody in that locker room can wrestle like me. They got all suck a bag of donkey dicks. We got a donkey dick chance." But he says, "Hey, I'm serious now. And look at this mask. This mask is, you know, trash. No more kangaroo kicks. It's me, filled with hate." And he tells Adam, like, "Hey, I gave you a thing that I never gave anybody before. Trust and believe me, brother. I ain't giving it to anybody else." And he's cooking on that mic, and he says, "I don't need a New Japan or Vince McMahon to make an MJF. MJF made MJF." And I'm hook, line, and sinker, man. I'm just like, this is the guy right here. The star is back in AEW, rightfully so. The Wolf of Wrestling. And he shows his tattoo, for his AEW tattoo, and he says, "I ain't fucking leaving." And I'm like, oh, statement made. Tony paid up. And I think that's great. MJF is where he belongs, and I think it is in that AEW ring. As much as I was like, oh, I can't wait until he goes to WWE. Oh, I can't wait. I think this is a great move for Tony Khan and All Elite Wrestling, is keeping MJF here. I already see people, man. And I'm like, MJF knows how to get heat. MJF is good in that ring. MJF is great on that mic, and I'm waving that MJF flag. And I cannot wait to get his new shirt. It has to be on my body so I can caress myself and say, I love you, MJF. That did not get weird. But he's back. And that was only the first, not even an hour of the show, but damn. And then we still got a ways to go. And I will say I'm pretty proud of myself. I was right on all my picks except for one. Our next match was Bang Bang Gang. I don't think they're going by Bullet Club Gold anymore, but they're going by Bang Bang Gang versus Death Triangle for the Trios Championships. And my boys won, and guess who's back too? Oh, he jumped out of my seat again. Juice. The juice is loose. Juice Robinson is back. I was so excited about that too. I was like, oh, Tony, God, I can make out with you right now. Thank you. Oh, man, but Bang Bang Gang retains. Pac is like, oh, what do I do? Death Triangle is like, what's going on? Well, you should have had your hammer. It probably would have helped you win. But no, guns up. Bang Bang Gang for the win. And the juice is back. AEW Women's Championship, Toni Storm versus Serena Deeb. And I will say, goddamn, I have a new level of respect for Serena Deeb. I was not the biggest fan. Not really familiar with her work. And Toni Storm is a goddamn treasure. She is timeless, as the moniker says. And this match was awesome. Toni Storm took it to her. They went back and forth. You know, Luther was Mariah May was about to throw in the towel, but Luther takes it. Tony looks at Luther and throws the towel in the crowd and says, you bastard, you know. And Luther's like, I didn't do it. But, man, a back and forth battle between these two. And Toni Storm, and I made the pick of Toni winning, retaining. But there were moments where I was like, oh, shit, Serena is actually a threat. Oh, shit, she's going to get this championship. Nope. My girl Toni Storm retains, but no, my hat is off to Serena Deeb. She can go in that ring, and she went with the best of the best, and that's Toni Storm. Oh, so good. Next up, we got Trent versus Orange. Don Callis on commentary, and man, another battle of the ages. Trent and Orange back and forth, you know, and it went to a quick roll-up pin for Orange Cassidy to get the win, and I was right on this pick, and I was like, oh, man, where do we go now from here? What happens with Trent? And I thought Trent was just going to beat the shit out of Orange. I was like, okay, no, he just leaves. Rocky comes out, and he's trying to talk to him, and Renee tries to talk. He's like, no, I don't want to do this, and he just leaves. And I was like, oh, we're not going to do anything. Okay, maybe we can get back to Trent later? No. Okay. But damn, that was a good match. We go into the FTW Championship, Jericho versus Hook versus Shibata. I was very wrong on this match. I picked Hook for the win. It's the only match tonight I was wrong on. Big Bill, of course, is out there. And I got to talk about the finish. But before that, there's a moment where after the dice come out, you know, I gotta imagine that's gotta fucking hurt, the falling dice. But there's a moment where Jericho's on the table. And, you know, when you're getting ready for somebody to fall on you, you know, this is what I was taught in wrestling school, was that you need to, like, brace yourself, like, kind of, like, clench up just so you can absorb the impact of when someone's coming down on you. But you really don't do it until, like, the last minute when, you know, the person's flying off the top or they're about to just jump on you in general, so you can brace yourself. It has to be a quick, in-the-moment thing to have the believability for the person watching. Be like, oh, that guy got smashed, you know, but you know the guy's safe because he clenched, he got his arms ready, he embraced for impact, took the impact. Jericho's a veteran. Jericho's a legend. How in the hell is this man's work getting sloppier and sloppier? So Shibata, Orange is on top of the rope, and Jericho's there. And he's on the table, and he's bracing himself, and he's kind of like shaking while he's doing it. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, this doesn't, and his eyes are right on them, and he's like holding his arms up. And the spot was terrible. They didn't even go through the table. The table just went sideways, man. And I was like, damn. And I've seen the memes. I don't like to body shame anybody because I don't think that's cool. You know, I'm a fat guy, so I've been body shamed. It's not a really nice thing. But I was seeing the memes of Chris Jericho and Mr. Krabs when Mr. Krabs lost his his shell. Yeah, and I was like, oh, my God. But no, the match ended with Big Bill. Big Bill almost died. Big Bill went through a table, and the leg of the table went up, and he missed it by so little. I was like, holy shit. Thank God Big Bill lives. Oh, but Jericho retains the championship. I was like, boo! Boo! Go away. But it was an entertaining match even with the shenanigans, even with the botches. I thought it was a fun match. As much as I really don't care about this FTW championship or the storyline. Shibata looked great. Hook looked great. Jericho did not. But with Jericho getting his ass kicked and chopped a bunch of times, that made me happy. So a win-win, I guess, We go into the IWGP Eliminator match. Moxley versus Takeshita. Don Callis ringside. Whew, another battle for the ages. But this time Moxley went in hurt. And I picked Jon Moxley for the win. I was like, it would have been cooler if Takeshita got the win. Because I think Takeshita could be a big star. He could go on to that next level, that next wave. Imagine if he did win this match and they have a big, big match at a New Japan Pro Wrestling show. He wins that championship because I feel Takeshita's work is solid. The man can go. The man can wrestle. He beat Kenny Omega. He's proven himself time and time again, and this match was awesome, man. And I'm just kind of sad that he lost the opportunity to face Moxley. But, of course, Moxley's going to get the win because it's Mox. You can't stop Mox. Next up, the TNT Championship Barbed Wire Steel Cage. We got the Brood Edge. I don't know how they got that cleared with WWE, but we got the Brood Adam coming out in the fire from the depths of hell. And him and Malachi Black have a battle beyond battles. As they get bloody? Yes, it gets bloody. We got barbed wire. But there was a moment here where the House of Black comes out, Buddy and Brody, and they're standing there by Malachi, and they go and stand by Adam. And I'm like, oh my God, are we getting the House of Blood? Holy shit. Nope, they tricked us. Oh, that was such a good tease, though. And they go in there, they give Adam his crown, he got his ring and everything like that. Then the lights are flickering again. It's like, oh, what's going on? Gangrel comes out of nowhere. I was like, oh, shit, with vampire teeth, with the whole look, like he stepped out of the 90s and everything like that. But, man, that was like, okay, awesome. But Adam retains the championship after beating them. But this was a bloody match, and this is a bloody good time if this is the type of stuff you like. This show has everything you want in pro wrestling, and this was a great storytelling moment. I really did enjoy this barbed wire match. And I didn't think I was going to, but I did with Gangrel popping out too. I was like, all right, but fuck it. Balls to the wall, pedal to the metal, baby. TBS Championship, Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Moné, the debut of Mercedes Moné. I gotta say, great match, man. Mercedes Moné did not miss a step in that ring. There's a few things I know she had to shake off, ring rust, being gone for like a year, not wrestling in a ring and stuff like that. And Willow looked fabulous. I feel like I picked Mercedes Moné to win the championship because I was like, there's no way she's losing her debut match. But to be fair, that's what she probably got in her contract, signing, getting all that moolah from Tony Khan. I just feel bad for Willow because Willow's a star. You hear that crowd, and when Mercedes Moné won, it was a lukewarm pop. I felt like they turned up the CEO. And I looked in the crowd, I was like, nope. I was like, this crowd is split. This crowd is very split. Maybe 75-25. 25 going for Mercedes, 75 going for Willow, because it's like, let's go Willow, CEO. It was like back and forth. But, man, at the end, when she won that championship, that crowd just went, whoop. All right, give it to the ex-WWE person. I think that's how this crowd feels. We'll see how it goes. And Bayley celebrated with her afterwards. There's a picture out there. I guess they're at a club or something like that. And I was like, oh, Bayley. And I'm wearing my Bayley shirt right now. So, shout out to Bayley. Always being there for her homies. Always. And the other story here is Stokely and Chris tried to help. There's a moment where Willow was going to get the pin, but she didn't get the pin. Stokely's yelling at them. Willow pushes Stokely. Oh, no, it was a Chris. Chris pushes Stokely, gets in his face. And as they're walking out, Chris Statlander, boom! She turned on Willow. My heart went snap. It broke. I was like, no! Beat her while she's down. Chris Statlander changes on her. And Stokely has that devilish smile, and I'm like, holy shit, man. Wow. This is crazy, man. They're in cahoots. They've been in cahoots. And they don't need Willow Nightingale anymore, and I don't want Willow to fall to the wayside. Next up, we have this is a triple main event, which at first I was kind of like, oh, that's not cool. But the AEW Championship was on the line. Swerve Strickland versus Christian Cage. Oh, my God. Fun match. Not my favorite match of Swerve's, but it was a good match for what it was. Great moments. Great stomps. Swerve retains. That's all we want. We had Kill Switch. We had Nick. We had all the shenanigans. Crazy stairs spot. But back and forth battle indeed. But Swerve Strickland retains that championship. And I'm like, okay. I'm all for it. I'm all for Swerve retaining that championship against Christian Cage. Next up, we got Anarchy in the Arena. Oh my gosh, welcome to the shit show. It wasn't a shit show, it was pure entertainment. I never thought we would have music playing. Like, we had the final countdown because as the Bucks were coming out with Okada, Jack Perry's about to come out. They just start brawling immediately. They start fighting, and then Nick grabs the mic. He's like, "Hey, put on this." Or was it Matthew? I think it was Matthew. Yeah, he's like, "Put on this song, the banger, our song," and he puts on the song, and then all of a sudden Bryan Daniels is like, "Cut that shit. Put on the greatest wrestling song in the world." And it was the final countdown, and they just start fighting to the music. And that crowd is all for it. I'm all for it. I was like, it's the final countdown. Oh, man. I think Matthew later on says that he grabs the mic. He's like, turn that shit off. We can't afford the rights to that song. You know, it's like $40,000 or something like that, man. But these guys went at it. There's a spot where Jack killed Darby with the thing. Darby's got a spike mask on. Flamethrower in action. I didn't think I thought it was gonna be a tease or something, like scare him off, but no. Darby sets fucking Jack Perry on fire. I'm not making this shit up. You gotta watch this. We got the spike Nikes for the super spicy spike kicks by the books. This shit would not let up, and I was very happy about it, man. And they get this moment where they hang Darby from his feet, then super kick him, like executioner style. I'm just like, Jesus Christ. And it goes on and on and on, man. And I'm having a good time. Like, everyone's bloody. We got Jack Perry on fire. But of course, my boys, the Elite, got the win. And that's who I picked. All my picks and predictions. Anarchy in the Arena was definitely Anarchy. A great bus spot on the outside with Jack and Darby, where he just runs the bus into the garbage that Darby was in, and everyone had to assume that he killed him. And Jack's like laying there. But man, I'm talking about there's tables. They're throwing each other this way, that way. And it's just pure mayhem. And I love every minute of it. And that was Double or Nothing 2024. 5 out of fucking 5 for this show. Up, hands down, one of my favorite shows of this year so far. On both sides. I just had a really good time, and it got me out of my funk a little bit because this week has been rough. But man, I gotta say, my hat's off to AEW, hats off to Tony Khan, hats off to the entire crew, the talent, everybody that was rocking with this show, man. I had so much goddamn fun. Thank you so much. 5 out of 5, Double or Nothing. Tell me what you thought of the show. Drop those comments below. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Share with your grandma, share the bum down at Walmart. Go to ProWrestlingTees.com/New World Podcast. Get yourself that sweet nWp logo created by Penta X. And remember that the New World Podcast is for life, brother.
I don't need a New Japan or a Vince McMahon to make MJF